Welcome everybody to Very Important Geeks and the first video of 2022. If you've ever asked for recommendations on a budget board and somebody suggested a $300 build to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more nonsense. Now for the first video of the new year, the folks over at banggood.com were able to send me over a build kit. So full disclosure, they sent me the board for free, no money exchanged hands, they don't have any say in this review. All the opinions are my own and they will see this video when you do. But if by the end of the video you think this is the board and the build for you, I'm going to leave some affiliate links in the description down below. And what they sent over was the Gamakay LK67.
And in the box, let's see what you get. You get the instruction manual, which is always handy to keep that around. You'll need to reference it later. This small box, you get keycap puller and switch puller, USB-C braided cable, nice touch, and the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver. And finally, the keyboard itself. I got mine in this translucent dark green color, which I think works really well, especially with that white aluminum plate. For switches, they sent over this tactile switch by a brand called Fecker, and they kind of look like Holy Panda clones, but they're nice 3-pin and tactile, and feel pretty good to be honest. And for keycaps, I thought they just sent over a green and white keycap set, but upon closer inspection, it's definitely a GMK Botanicals clone. But the kit does come with a whole bunch of different kitting options for different layouts, and it even has split spacebars. And yet another keycap puller. I swear I have a million of these by now. Taking a closer look at the case itself, this is where you get the left side USB-C port and the switch for your different connectivity modes.
Now for some specs. The LK67 supports 3 connection modes: wired, 2.4 GHz wireless, and Bluetooth 5.0. The 65% kit comes with the PCB, mounting plate, case, USB-C cable, 2.4 GHz receiver, and stabilizers. And the PCB comes with per key RGB as well as hot swap sockets. Now it doesn't say on the board whether they are Kale or Gateron, so I'm thinking they're a generic hot swap socket. And because it does support Bluetooth, it comes with a 2400 mAh battery. And the case comes in different color choices of black, white, pink, blue, or green. The multifunction knob in the top right hand corner supports play, pause, and volume controls.
And now it was time to plug in the USB-C and check out the LEDs, make sure everything works, and oh no, big red light is probably not a good thing, but I was just on the wrong mode. And this is something to note, the switch on the back isn't labeled on the case in any way, so you'll need to refer back to the manual and remember which is which. But once I got it back to the right mode, everything seemed to work. All the RGBs are active and good to go. Just note that they are north-facing RGBs, so just make sure your switches and keycaps don't interfere. Now I want to show you guys what's under the hood of this bad boy, so I'm going to be taking it apart. Just note that the manufacturer does not recommend taking this apart. There are those screws in the plate, but the rest of the case is just sort of, you can just pop it on and pop it off, and it's just a lot of plastic, so there is a really kind of high risk about, just breaking off one of the plastic pieces. So do this at your own risk. Now once you get it open, on the back side is just a lot of plastic. It is a very plasticky case. A lot of space to be filled. That's where the hollowness is coming from, and you have your 2400 mAh battery right there. And on the back of the PCB you see your row of RGBs to shine throughout the case and your hot swap sockets. And let's try and take this PCB off so we can get to the plate. And you'll see that this comes with a little muting pad or sound dampener in between the plate and the PCB. Nice touch, especially for a sub $100 keyboard. And here's your aluminum plate here with your plate mounted stabilizers. Now let's go ahead and drop in everything and see what this thing sounds like out of the box with no mods, no tuning whatsoever. It's a little hollow, a little plasticky, which is to be expected just given the way that the board is built and no tuning on the switches. So let's go ahead and dampen it a little bit with my good old trusty zip and fit. Let's tune the stabilizers a little bit and let's lube those switches.
So you notice by now how strikingly similar these keycaps are to the GMK Botanical set, and that's because they are a clone. I didn't realize that when they sent it over to me. Now, I generally don't support clones, even though I've been guilty of using them in the past, i.e. this tofu build that I did with the clone of the GMK Bento set. But I would rather support the original artists that are creating these sets, because they're guys just like you and me. They're artists, they're hobbyists, they're enthusiasts that just want to contribute to the hobby. So I would rather put money in their pocket. But I also understand that not everybody has or wants to spend $150, $200 for a keycap set. Now maybe a good compromise is getting a generic keycap set in the same colorway or very similar colorway, but then buying the actual novelties from the original creator. And you'll probably find that spending on both still is less than buying the full GMK base. Now, being clones aside, these are some really nice keycaps, and I'm actually really impressed. They're thick, the manufacturing's really good, the legends aren't perfectly center all the time, but they are nice and crisp. And the XDA profile is pretty cool with this board. Now for switches, they sent over these Holy Panda clones. Nice little tactile switch that sound pretty good and feel really good actually. The housing's fairly tight on these, so I'm probably just gonna lube these. Now the case on this is pretty excellent in my opinion. It's nice ABS, it's got a nice design, you got some pathways here and cutouts for the RGB to shine through. The knob is nice and clicky, and it's got a nice smooth feel when you turn it, and it's got a little bit of translucency, which is pretty cool. And the green of the case and the green of the keycap set work really well together. For a $63 board, I think this sounds fantastic, even out of the box. Yes, it is a little hollow, yes, it is a little plasticky sounding, but again, $63 for a three-way connectivity, supporting hot swap, connecting up to 3 devices, RGB, that's pretty fantastic. And then with just a little bit of tuning, you can see that you can make it a very premium sounding keyboard. So all you budget builders, rejoice. The Gamakay LK67, excellent board, 63 bucks. Go ahead and check it out in the links below. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, support me on Patreon, and until next time, geek out.